Hi, Erwin here with another demo. This time is an interesting accordion that I purchased from Ukraine and had it shipped over. This one is a 1960s vintage Buttstadt, so this is an East German Soviet era constructed accordion. So it's not the finest thing that you're going to find on eBay, but what it does feature is that it is a low with 3 medium reeds, which is my favorite complement. So this allows for a clarinet, a wide musette, a closer musette, a triple musette, and plus you have bassoon to add to each one of those combination. There's 3 bass shifts, one that cuts out the high reed, one cuts out the low reed to give you the bassetti. And this instrument came to me. And the reason I bought it is, you'll notice there's an extra row of bass buttons. Now, one of the things I found that I've always wanted to do was to be able to play minor thirds. I thought this would be a really useful thing, but so far I really haven't made use of it, and so there's no reason to really carry on with the instrument for me. I suppose if I had one that played as good as my Beltuna Studio 4, which is a very expensive accordion, and trying to find that with 140 bass, well, good luck. So a lot of repairs were done to this instrument. I bought it from Ukraine. I expected it to need repairs, so I wasn't upset. But I wasn't expecting as many repairs as it needed. Now, everything is functional on this accordion. It plays about as good as it's going to play. One of the things that I added to it just recently is I created bellows locks for it. It had very small snaps on it, good enough for the state, Soviet stuff, and I decided not good enough for me. I wanted to have bellows locks on it. Another thing that was on it was that the Buttstadt name on the accordion was actually broken off, and what I did was I found a font that looked just like it and 3D printed it. So it actually has this really nice Buttstadt on the grill in black where it was in red. So I, had to move with the design a little bit, but it's not perfect. The registers are very typical of that era. They're don't have the same feel as like Honer, and this is no Gola or Imperator or even Atlantic. But it's not a horrible instrument. It's playable, and it does have the minor bass rows. So if you've been wanting to learn how to play an accordion and you want one with a decent reed complement, here you go. This would be the good way to get started on it and see how far you can go with it. Because you can play jazz. It's got just a tonic tuned clarinet and a tonic tuned bass. It's got a good bass strap. These are older Potosi straps. They're kind of worn. You may need some service in the new foot-shoe, but for right now they're perfectly serviceable. Now these bellows lock straps snap at both ends, so they seem to be asymmetrical. It seemed to be a little different between each strap, so I had to make them over and over again until I came up with ones that were, more or less what I expected. So why don't we just let the instrument speak for itself? And we will, let's see, how about Kingdom Come? So this will give you a good idea of what the instrument does. I'll put this over here. I can't read with my spectacles on. Grandpa's getting old. So let's hear what the sounds are. So, did I get this bottom one off? Okay, so. Bassoon. Not perfectly in tune, but this kind of price you don't get perfection. So nice Italian style musette. French musette. We touched up tuning on this instrument so it'd be better. Here's the triple musette master. So it's not the most air efficient. You see, I do have to roll the box a little bit to make it play. So what do we say? We just give the old Civil War chirp a shot here with the standard musette. So what about that minor bass, right? That's got to be kind of interesting. How does that work? So with the minor bass is located on the same row, and you have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? Or if you want to do my favorite ending is a well, let's see if I can get it. So I can go to the A flat above F. So F, A flat. So it takes a little bit of getting used to it, but I think if you invested the time in it, you have something that's really fun to play, and you don't have to bounce your hand all over the keyboard to get to the flats. And once your brain locks into that, I think you'll be able to play the thing just fine. So let's hear that French musette. Okay, so there you go. This is a nice European Vienna Life waltz, and everybody's familiar with that. Okay, so how about something a little more American jazz? We'll move on to, so here's the master bass. All 5 reeds on. That turns off the highest reed in the bass, and of course you have the 1960s East German Buttstadt accordion, Soviet era build. It's a little more work to play it, but you do get that minor bass row, like for example, you want to play B flat, B, G, B, let's see if I can do it, G, B. So there's the alternate B flat with a G minor chord played with the G. So you really get some interesting voicing out of the instrument that you normally wouldn't get out of any other accordion that doesn't have an alternate bass row. One more thing about this, being a typical East German construction, it's kind of made out of like hardy board. It's like all musical instrument cases used to be made out of. It has some metal reinforcements. The snaps, interestingly enough, are in good shape. But as you can see, there's a number of fiberglass repairs that I made to it. This thing has been coming apart for a while, and I decided to end that problem once and for all with fiberglass. I used to have a Hohner bent key accordion, and that had a very unusual case, and only that case fit that instrument. And the only way to keep that, 100 or 90-year-old accordion case going was to do a fiberglass repair. So it doesn't look that great. There's some drips on here, you put the stuff on, you think it's going to sit, and then all of a sudden you come back and there's drips on it. But anyway, the case is in, adequate condition. It'll carry the instrument, and it can carry it securely. It won't come apart. So it's interestingly balanced. Yeah, you'd like to have a nice big accordion case, but it's better than no case at all. Thanks for watching.